Practical Doug.
Oh, it's the time again. We got an Ask Practical Doug. If you've never been here for Ask Practical Doug is a tiny Doug that lives inside of Big Doug and guides Big Doug in all of life's journeys and adventures and other things. And you can ask Practical Doug a question if you'd like. You can join us live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. That's when we do this,
Very
right?
good.
I had to do the time shift in my head. 7 p.m. Central, and you can ask on YouTube with everyone else who's hanging out online here on any social medias at MindGap Podcast, and you can hashtag Ask Practical Doug, or you can join our Discord where there is a dedicated channel for Ask Practical
Justin,
Doug.
how would you know which channel to put that in our Discord?
My best guess is the Looking For group.
That is a terrible guess, sir.
Okay.
Terrible guess.
Can I try again?
One more.
General.
Now we're talking.
Awesome. Is it the Doug voice mod? Voice chat. The Doug, what is it?
What?
It's the one that's, hold on. Let me open it up.
Oh my God.
It's going to be, I've got low battery. Hold on. Oh, it's the Hangout. Is it the voice Hangout?
There we go.
Is that where you post it?
It's Ask Practical Doug, and although there's no description for what the channel is, I bet you can figure out that you go to that channel, you can ask Practical Doug.
Is it fitness?
Yeah, we can talk about fitness there.
If you've got a practical question about fitness, where does it go, Doug?
Make a choice.
This is,
and if you get it wrong, I will embarrass you in front of everybody.
There's just, we need to put together a team of 16 experts, Doug.
We do. To go decipher this goddamn Discord, apparently. Because it's confusing as fuck.
It's so confusing, man. Okay, so, Doug, this question, I believe, comes from Slotty. Am I correct on that?
Yes.
He posed this question. So Slotty asks, Doug Cochran, do you sock, shoe, or do you sock, shoe?
This one has been living in my head for days. And I'm going to tell you why. Because these are the things that we just do every day, have done every day for our life, and not even thought twice about it. And when someone challenges that reality, you have an existential moment. Bless you, by the way.
Thank you.
For anyone who was not watching this, Justin sneezed, and he was cool. He muted his microphone because he's a cool dude. The second someone questions that reality, you have an existential moment where you're like, wait, what? Why would anyone want to do that? And you don't want to be disrespectful, but also you're like, that's crazy.
Right.
For me, I go sock, shoe. And I'll tell you why. One, it doesn't seem very efficient to do sock, shoe. If I've learned anything from watching cooking videos, what most chefs say is you find one task and you make sure you do that task, as opposed to do that task and then do a different task, come back to your first task. They're like, if you're going to chop stuff up, chop up all of your stuff and then put them where they need to go. So
place, baby.
That's right. Same thing here. If I'm putting on my sock, I'm going to put on my other sock. And it can also, there's some practical elements of what if your feet are cold? You don't want to leave one cold foot just dangling out there while you not only put the sock on, but then put the shoe on for extra installation. That's just crazy. But also, the idea of having a sock and a shoe on one foot and having a bare foot on the other, it seems very uncomfortable, strange. Feels weird. Have you ever put on shoes while wearing underwear? Just underwear?
I'm sure in my lifetime I have.
It's weird.
Yeah.
To be in your underwear, just your underwear, no shirt, no pants, just your underwear and shoes. You're like, this doesn't feel right. Why would I be doing this right now? There's not been a situation where I need to have my underwear on and just my shoes. Yeah. This is strange. Which is why whenever I've seen porn with guys wearing shoes, I'm like, that's uncomfortable. I can't do this.
How did we get here? That's the question. How did we get to this position?
Andrew Santino had a great joke about that. How he's like, I respect the guys that do that because not only do they get naked, in order to get naked, they have to take off their shoes. But then after they're naked, they're like, I'm putting these back on because it's important to them, you know?
Because these are the new Jordans.
Yes,
and I
right?
have them seen. Yeah.
And God damn it, I need the support because I don't want plantar fasciitis, you know?
Right. Also, you get a good grip on it. You got the traction on the bottom, good treads. So I would also say, and I don't know about you, but I don't typically, and this is debatable because some people do, I know, and it's not that weird, but I don't typically wear my shoes around the house.
No.
I walk around the house. So when I'm getting dressed, I'll get dressed, I'll put my socks on. And then if I'm going out the door, I will then put my shoes on. But rarely am I in the position where I've got my shoes next to my clothes while I'm getting ready, or I'm just walking around without socks on and I bring them to where my shoes are by the door. Like usually the two things aren't near enough each other. Like if I'm getting dressed, I'm dressed, I've got the socks on. If I'm going to leave right away, then I go over to where the shoes are and I put the shoes on. Very rarely are they in the same area. So my brain is trying to wrap itself around in what scenario is someone doing sock shoe.
Well, Jared, tell us more because apparently Jared says he does sock shoe because he's already raised that leg. So the leg's up, he puts on a sock. He's like, well, my foot's already up here, so I might as well put on my shoe.
Interesting.
So
yeah, tell us more about the situation there, Jared.
That sounds, again,
I'm dying to know.
Because it's almost kind of like, it's less unusual, but wearing shoes and socks with a swimsuit, right?
Yeah.
Because typically you're wearing sandals because the idea is that wherever you're going, you will be getting wet and, you know.
Or I'll slip my shoes on but no socks at that point. That's just how I'll roll with that.
Still feels weird walking around, you know, in that sort of situation. And yet, women in just combat boots is sexy as hell.
Australia.
I love it, man.
We've talked about before, too, early on. I think we were at the basement of E&C when we were talking about it, but we talked about changing up your routine. Mm-hmm. Like if you put your pants on, do you put them on left leg first or right leg first? And then trying to do it with the opposite leg first, and how it's like, my pants feel like they're on backwards right now because I don't like, that's just not weird, you know? Or if you put a shirt on, do you put your head and then your arms? Do you put your left arm through and then your head and then your right, head, left, right, then head, and then try to switch it up and just see how wrong it feels, you know? So I feel like this is a very similar thing where I would do this and I'd be like, this just feels like everything's on wrong right now.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
To those routines, right? Like, you brush your teeth and you do it a certain way, or you know,
it's funny
brush your teeth before you do this or after that, or
It's funny because Seth also had a similar image, which I'm going to shoot over to you now as well, about brushing your teeth, which is, how do you brush your teeth? And it has 3 options. The first option is...
Are you sharing this on the thing here?
I will share it.
All right.
So people can see what this is. I got to bring it over to this side of the screen.
This is great.
You all can see it.
And so, for the podcast listeners, there's 3 different options here. How do you brush your teeth? So it's either, do you put water on the brush, then toothpaste, and then water again, and then engage? Or do you put the toothpaste on dry, then water? Or do you just put the toothpaste on and go to town?
Yeah. And the person says everyone should pick one. So what I do is I do 2/3 of number 1, which is I do water first and then toothpaste and then I brush.
Got it. Okay.
I don't add extra water on there because the toothbrush is already wet.
Yes, I could see that. I'm trying to think because I used to do number 1 fully. I would do water, toothpaste, water. And now I'm legitimately trying to remember. I think I do number 2 now. It's so funny. I actually have to think about this one. I don't, if I were to do it, I would know it felt right or wrong. But now that I'm actually trying to think through the steps of it, I'm having a hard time recalling which one.
This is my crazy logic for it. Number 2 seems crazy to me because you put the toothpaste on a dry toothbrush, you put water on it, but the toothpaste is covering some of the toothbrush, so it may not get fully wet because the toothpaste can kind of act like an umbrella. So you potentially have some dry bristles in there, which is no good.
Why is it no good? Why do we need water in the first place?
Well, you guys, you don't just want to scratch the shit out of your teeth. You also need some water to kind of get the foam going with the toothpaste.
What saliva's for? Put water in your mouth. Do a mouthful of water, gargle it, then hold it for 30 seconds. Then brush your teeth with no toothpaste, but just a brush, a hairbrush.
Instead of water, it's
always keep them guessing which way you're gonna go.
What? Huh? Comedy. Yeah, and definitely not 3. Just straight toothpaste and getting in there. That is absurd. That's crazy.
No, I do think, I think I do. Yeah, I think currently I'm doing toothpaste, water, but I'm not opposed to number 1 either. Like the thing is, I respect 1 and 2. I have no love for people who do 3.
Yeah, 3 seems pretty metal.
3 seems like a sock shoe type of person. The person who brushes their teeth like number 3 is the same person who puts on sock shoe, and the same person who jumps into their pants both legs.
It's the same person. The person who does number 3 is the same person that's like, I use Listerine with all the alcohol because if it's not burning, it's not working. Right?
They swish with Fireball.
Yeah, they have powdered toothpaste that they just sort of dump on a horse bristle brush, and they go, "We got to get to work here." And they're just like, "It doesn't taste good. It tastes like chalk because that's how the world works." You want flavor in your toothpaste? How bad do you think
they use borax powder on a wire brush? Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How much bullshit do you think like the masculine community was like when they're like, we're flavoring the toothpaste? They're like, pussies. You what? You want spearmint on your teeth? You goddamn pansy. Just use it with the chalk. Use the chalk taste. Just what are you trying to do? You have yourself a little dessert while you brush your teeth. You clean your teeth, Sally.
Sally, we use Irish Spring in our teeth.
That's goddamn right. It's good enough for my armpits. Good enough for my teeth.
Bite it, spit it. Move on with your day.
I survived the Great War.
How are you still alive, Great Grandpa?
Well, mustard gas didn't get me, so fuck you, death. That's why.
Jared says
Kaiser.
the water pushes the toothpaste into the bristles. The water pushes the toothpaste into the bristles.
I mean, that's true.
That's why number 2 works for him.
The important question is, do you keep your tap running the whole time while brushing? No, I don't do that.
No, I love the full question. Yeah.
Do you do that, or are you a good person? I'm a good person.
Absolutely, yeah.
I remember I had to see a lot of commercials as a kid to be like, oh, that's wasteful,
Yep.
Because that was just it's running while you're brushing your teeth. And you're like, this is good. This is good.
Sometimes I'll space out and I'll realize and turn it off, but I always turn it off. Yeah.
Very true. Well,
there you go. That's our routines, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go. Practical Doug says sock, shoe, and says do what you want with your teeth. Just don't put toothpaste on it because that ain't right.